Hey guys, it's Zodi here. So today I'm making a video on a special occasion. I managed to finish Legend in RTA once again, so this is my 5th Legend RTA finish. I have 5 different RTA Legend frames now, and I'm very happy with this finish because the frame looks super sick, totally badass, so I'm very glad I finished Legend this season. It was also the toughest season for me where I finished Legend in, because I had to play it to the very end. There was 3 minutes left on the clock when I secured my Legend finish. Also, with 15 minutes left to go, I went up against KJ, known as Korean Jesus. He finished rank 2 Hall of Fame this season. So I disconnected halfway through the drafting phase versus KJ. My internet went off, so it was my Legend. If I had beaten KJ, I would have secured Legend 2. I was rank 99 when I went up against him. So I disconnected, and after I disconnected, I had 12 minutes left on the clock, and I needed 2 wins to secure Legend. So you guys can imagine how stressful that was, that must have been, So luckily I went up against 2 players who were around the same rank as me. They needed like a win to finish Legend, and they both went cleave. They were trying to rush things, So I just went anti-cleave versus both of them, and yeah, that's how I finished Legend. Anti-cleave got me Legend this season. So I have a full section of anti-cleave units that I'll show you guys today, over 20 different builds, 20 different anti-cleave units, so stay tuned for that. So without further ado, let's get right into the unit showcase. So first I'll be covering my openers. So first let's go over DJ Bazaar. So here's my DJ Bazaar. I run a 300 speed DJ Bazaar. This unit is extremely strong. For those of you guys who are confused, see the 293 speed, well, you get 7 speed in RTA. If you're a Soul Weaver, you get 7 extra speed for free. So he's basically at 293 plus 7, so basically 300 speed. DJ Bazaar, very powerful aggro unit. You can also play standard with him, even though he's not as strong in standard. So you can go many different builds, but I really like the speedy build because of one factor. It's unexpected. People don't expect a 300 DJ Bazaar because it's not easy to make a fast DJ Bazaar. I'll show you guys his gear on someone like a Pira, I guess. I'll show you guys my DJ Bazaar gear on the Pira. Speed, DJ Bazaar. See here. So same gear on Pira, we'll put Pira at 315 speed. So Pira literally has 15 speed on DJ Bazaar. So it's not easy to make a fast DJ Bazaar. This is probably one of my best geared units. But the downside of this build is he's less tanky. Well, he's actually not squishy by any means. 1.7k defense with the side fact. It's definitely some bulk. He can take hits, and he's low on ER too. Because I cannot really go for high ER with high speed with 300 speed. I don't have the gears for that, Yeah, this ring's defense percent main. So yeah, but I don't really care about ER anyways. I cleave with this guy. So yeah, that's practically it for DJ Bazaar. I first pick him when I can. Great unit this season. Next we have Pira. So here's my Pira. The thing with Pira is I changed up her build on the last day. I made a crit Pira. Before the last day, her gear was on Elfelt, so I'll show you guys my Elfelt. Yeah, I ungeared Elfelt for Pira on the last day, and it was totally worth it. So I was doing Elfelt DJ Bazaar Caval Cleave with straws and stuff like that, And it was working out well, but I'll show you guys what the issue with Elfelt is. So the same gear. Pira gears on Elfelt, puts Elfelt at speed effectiveness. Puts Elfelt at 292 speed, so you need the crit chance for her to be paired with Caval, right? So a 292 Elfelt, 292 speed, let me tell you guys, it's definitely not enough to contest any player in Legends. So I basically dropped Elfelt, put Elfelt's gear on Pira, and it was, I had Guiding Light on Elfelt. I need to give this to a different unit. Yeah, I don't use her anymore, wow. Just realized that, good thing I made this video. Alright, so I dropped Elfelt for Pyrrha. And the same gear on Elfeld is 292 speed on Elfeld, right? But on Pyrrha is 309 speed. Literally, how much speed is that? Literally 9 plus 8, 9 plus 8, 17, right? Yeah, literally Pyrrha's got 17 speed on Elfeld. There's 309 speed. You can assume to outspeed most games with this much speed, right? Also crit chance. So basically the idea of a crit Pyrrha is you can draft her as a Caval, Caval initiator, right? And Caval is extremely strong right now in RTA, so this build is great. And also she works really well with DJ Bazaar. Let's say you first pick DJ Bazaar, and you know you can do like DJ Bazaar first pick into, let's say, an Arabi second pick plus Pyrrha third pick. You know, DJ Bazaar, Arabi, Pyrrha. How does the opponent deal with that? You know, you can literally do anything you want with the fourth and fifth pick. You can cleave with Caval fourth and fifth pick someone like a Strauss. Strauss works because DJ Bazaar can push him up. So yeah, amazing unit. Next we got Ran. So here's my Ran. So the thing about my Ran is I dropped the speed. I used to run a 310 speed Ran, but I dropped his speed to 300. And I increased his damage, so he hits really hard now. 3.3k attack, 280 crit damage. This guy slaps. And when he procs RNL, he can literally take out unit. There's so many games where my Ran would S3 into Huayang and then proc RNL, S1 the Huayang, the defense broken, literally take her out of the game and just win the match in turn 1. So a damage Ran is really strong. My 210 Ran, 310 Ran, I'll show you guys the build. So the problem with 310 Ran is you don't have damage. At least I don't have the gears to make a high damage 310 Ran. I forgot how I did the build. I remember it was crit chance neck and like attack. No, it wasn't this ring. It's like this ring with like damage boots or something. Oh, it was a speed helmet, I guess. Yeah, it was something like this, I think. Yeah, it was definitely this weapon. Yeah, it was this build, I think. So this build does not have enough damage. It can work. You probably take turn 1, and you have some effectiveness, which is good against like Hand Guy and T-Crusade, you know, standard units that go a bit of ER, like 100 ER. 50F makes it so you can debuff them, but usually the damage is not there. So you know, I switched to a damage build. And the thing with Ran is when I pick him and my opponent goes a bunch of imprints, I don't raise them. I just go FCC and mobile and that's it. I just pivot. So I don't raise with my Ran. And I feel like 300 speed is enough to outspeed most things, you know. So yeah, I like this build. So it's basically it for my Ran. Oh yeah, one more thing about Ran I forgot to touch upon. I used to run him on this artifact, Sword of Summer Twilight, which is a good artifact on Ran, don't get me wrong, but I feel like RNL is just the best. Honestly, I kind of regret going ham on this artifact. I bought a bunch of imprints because people were hyping this artifact up being the best artifact for Ran. Kind of regret that now, but it's whatever, I'll find a use for it later. But yeah, RNL is just best in slot, in my opinion, you know. Okay, next we got Sea Lilius. So here's my Sea Lilius. So I actually nerfed my Sea Lilius. I was experimenting with a 304 speed Sea Lilius early in the season, but after Moonlight Dominio came out, Sea Lilius is just not great anymore because Moonlight Dominio is a very good answer to her, right? So yeah, I only pick Sea Lilius. There are games where I early pick Sea Lilius, usually when DJ Bazaar and Ran, or like let's say DJ Bazaar plus Pyrrha's band or something like that, and maybe I'll lock in Sea Lilius. Or if I know that I'm going up against a standard player, I don't want to cleave, I just go Sea Lilius, you know. So yeah, 290 speed works perfectly fine. Yeah, I don't think I gave her good speed gear at all. Oh, 20 speed armor, 90. Yeah, I only gave her 120 speeder. I have like almost 40 20 speed gear, so I definitely did not give her my good speed gear, you know, but she works perfectly fine at 290 speed. I don't really race with her anyways, you know. So the thing with my Conqueror Lilius is I go for this artifact, Creation Destruction. There are games where I literally spam S3 3 turns in a row. I use S3, get an extra turn, cooldown got resetted by the artifact, I use it again, then I use it again 3 times in a row. And there are games where I use her S2, you know, 3 times in a row too. Like I use it, it doesn't go on cooldown, I use it again, I perma provoke a unit, DPS unit, and permanently control them. So this artifact, if you guys haven't tried this artifact on Conqueror Lilius, do give it a shot. It's really fun and really good in my opinion. I used to run her on Circus Fantasia, which is a great artifact, but yeah, in terms of Lilius, you want her to have around 150 effectiveness total. So let's say you run Circus artifact, you can go like 100F. Mine's on the low side in terms of effectiveness, but yeah, I nerfed my Lilius. I feel like she's still a good unit, but not like a priority pick for me nowadays. So next we have Flan. Let's see here. She's a ranger, right? So here's my Flan. The thing with Flan is I use the Grace of Growth feature on her. So I actually literally built her on the last day with this feature, and yeah, I basically gave her my old Piera gear, because I gave Piera my Elfeld gear, right? So Piera used to be geared. I just gave the gear to Flan. So this unit is really good if you're a cleaver aggro player. I think I only used her a couple times, so I don't have much experience with her yet. But I know she works kind of like Emilia. You push up a unit. This artifact, in best in slot, right? It gives you souls. I guess if you're not going up against a Bellion, it's the best in slot. So yeah, great aggro / cleave unit. Ideally you want like 290 plus speed, but she is on pretty good speed gear. Look, she's got a Penta Road 21 speeder weapon, Quad Road 20 speeder, 18 speeder, or that's not that fast, 20 speeder, 19 speeder. So she's on like almost 20 speed average, I think. So, you know, 286 speed on Flan is fine, I think. Yeah, I don't pick her I don't race with her, so it's fine. Next we got f.tenebria. So here's my f.tenebria. So f.tenebria is still a decent unit. There will be games where you think of her. You think, okay, f.tenebria is really good here, and usually she'll get banned because this unit is very oppressive. You just go speed effectiveness on her. You can go ER if you want, but basically I just give her a bunch of leftover speed gear that I don't need on other units. So all her gears are my leftover gear. You know, 20 speeder, 21 speeder, 18 speeder, 20, 18. Yeah, all leftover gear. I have so many ER main rings with high speed. I got like so many of them. So yeah, 285 speed found on her. What I'll do is I'll probably strip my f.tenebria for Lua. Now that she's unbanned from RTA. Yeah, I think the same gear on Lua puts her at over 290. Lua's faster than f.tenebria by quite a bit. Yeah, and f.tenebria is a very niche unit now. I think Lua's just better than f.tenebria a lot of times. Lua's OP, right? OP, you need her build. So I'll probably just give my f.tenebria gear to Lua. Effectiveness boot. So yeah, I can make a 292 Lua. Yeah, she's only 5-star and not, you know, not max awaken. I can give her Flan gear. Let's see, Flan gear. So yeah, both my f.tenebria and Flan are on like my secondary speed gear, not my primary one. 293 speed, 10 gear. This looks better. Yeah, I'll probably do something like this for Lua. So yeah, Lua literally has like 7 speed on f.tenebria. So yeah, very very OP unit, I think, Lua. So yeah, that's Flan f.tenebria. Next we got DN. So here's my DN. So my DN's only 284 speed. So I don't really pick DN. I only pick her when I'm up against, like, let's say a Huayang and I want to go CR pusher and then an OP Sig, but I don't want to make it like, I don't want to show all my cards, you know. When you pick DN, the opponent, they don't think you're cleaving, right? But when you go DN, let's say I third pick DN, my opponent picks a bunch of units, and then I pick up OP6, and then they realize what's going on, and they're like, ah, okay, now I'm in trouble. My Huajing's gotta get one-shotted by the OP6 and stuff like that. So Dian's definitely good. You can do some sneaky plays with her, but I don't really prioritize picking her. I only pick her when I don't have other options, or there aren't any other better openers. Let's say like Pierre Rand gets pre-banned and the opponent goes like DJ Basar or something, then yeah, Dian's on the table, right? Yeah, that's basically it for Dian. But yeah, you ideally want tankiness, speed, and ER on her. But you don't need to go this much ER. You can go like 100 ER, it's fine. Next we have Emilia. So here's Emilia. So Emilia, I feel like I'll be picking her much less now because she's very similar to Flan, right? But Flan's just faster. Emilia is only 270 speed, but she's got a tank stats and the ER. Yeah, good unit. Just this unit is very hard to use if you're going up against players with speed, and up the ranks you're gonna go 270 speed. It's just not gonna cut it. It's too many units to outspeed that, so it's just harder to use. I only pick her when I'm up against like a standard draft with like Destina, Hangai, A-Ra, stuff like that. Then yeah, it's obviously safe to go as Emilia at that point. So yeah, still a decent unit. I have her own signature artifact on her, increases ER, heal, very good artifact for Soul Weavers in general. Alright, next we got Hangai. So Mediator Carrick, still a very powerful unit. His issue is when you pick him, you gotta be very wary of the potential aggro/cleave that could come in from the opponent's end, so I only pick him when I feel like my opponent's not cleaving, or not going aggro. Then Mediator Carrick's fine, otherwise you're just gonna get cleaved if you pick him too early. So he's usually a later pick for me. I usually pick him, I never pick him earlier than third pick. That's all I got to say about Mediator. So my Mediator's on decent gear, some tankiness, 250 speed, some FER, Warhorn's definitely a must-have on this unit, I'd say, best artifact. Let's say you're up against the aggro team. After the opponent takes 3 turns, you're gonna cut them, so yeah. So pretty happy with my build. Next we got Angel Flight. So Angel Flight, this unit I pre-ban a lot, but yeah, if I don't pre-ban her, I do pick her sometimes. She's great she's usually good into like standard teams without much cleansing. You just ban the cleanser and then Angel Flight is a must ban, right? So I run an effectiveness build. So my build can hit Destinas. It's the thing, 240 effectiveness. But I feel like the tankier build, like 20k HP, those builds are the best, I feel, personally. So yeah, I don't use them much. Some book. Yeah, still very strong unit. I just pre-ban her. I just like to pre-ban her. Next we got Basar. Basar's a H, right? Yeah, so Basar, I'm not going to talk much about him. I think I've used him maybe one or two times. So he's a good unit. He's like Angel Flight. So some games you go up against units, teams that are weak to unbuffable debuff and strip pushback. So Basar, you can just draft Basar. So he's definitely usable, just not really meta. And next we got Judge Kisei, another unit I didn't really use. She's definitely usable, just not great. I think Lua's just better, right? So I built mine speed, effectiveness, some tank stats. I guess if you have like a 290 or 300 J Kisei, she's much easier to use. But yeah, mine's a bit on the slow side. I guess I can pick mine into like standard teams where like hand guy reset him, so he can't use his skills turn 1. But yeah, this unit I didn't really use much, so that's all I gotta say about J Kisei. Alright, next let's cover my damage dealers. First we got A-Ravi. So here's my A-Ravi. My A-Ravi's leaning more towards the damage side. It's got 294 crit damage, but she's not squishy by any means, 25k HP, almost 1.3k defense with Proof of Valor. Good tank stats. So my A-Ravi's pretty well geared, I'd say. The thing is, like, I was playing around with Seed towards the end of the season, but my A-Ravi build is too squishy without Proof of Valor, so I had to go back on Proof of Valor. But if you run like a 28k HP APOC or like 30k HP with more defense than me, you can go Seed, right? But my build, I have to go Proof of Valor, or she becomes too squishy. Yeah, I'm happy with my APOC. Next we got Huayang. So here's my Huayang. Huayang's getting nerfed though. So let's see about that. Anyways, I'm getting back at least a couple imprints, I think. I mean a couple slates. I think I only put one dupe of her, so I'm getting some stuff back at least. I wish they refund this artifact. Luckily, I got lucky pulling this artifact. I pulled all my copies randomly, from like free summon events and stuff throughout the years. So it doesn't really affect me. But if they can, refund this, that'd be great. If we can refund this artifact. But yeah, this artifact's best installed on Huayang. This is the build. Who knows how she'll be post nerf, but mine's pretty wokey, I'd say. I feel like Huayang, you don't really need that much speed. You can go like 220, 230 speed with tank stats. You want her to be tanky and obviously high attack. So mine at least 7k attack. Mine's at 7.2k. So yeah, my Huayang works really well. Happy about her build. Next we got Alencia. Here's my Alencia. So I'm really impressed by this unit. This unit's really good. I draft her a lot. I usually draft her when Huayang gets pre-banned and my opponent picks APOC Ravi. Then I go Alencia plus an opener usually, and works pretty well most of the time. I feel like this unit's not overpowered anything. She's just very strong right now. Just be wary of getting cleaved when you pick her. She's very bad versus cleave or aggro, because they'll take first turn and your Alencia will probably die before she even gets off her S3. But yeah, very good unit overall. Have Ed's artifact on her, very good artifacts on her. Yeah, and also mine's double S imprint, so that's why I like to pick her, because mine's pretty wokey. If I remember correctly, 420 gear score. This unit, 1.4k defense, 24k HP, very tanky. Good versus APOC. When I get up defense buff, APOC literally does like no damage. I'm on the healing the healing EE, so she can go toe to toe with other bruisers. Yeah, heal herself up. Also good against Senya, strip the counter buff and then take her out with a defense break S1. Yeah, overall pretty good. Also the artifact gives her 10 crit, so she's at 100 crit and scales the longer the game goes on. So 8% crit damage. Stacks up 4 times, that's 32 crit damage. So she'll be at what? 16, 32, 298 crit damage by the time this artifact maxes out the stacks. So yeah, happy with my Alencia. Next we have f.tenebria. So here's my f.tenebria on the damage build. This is actually my highest gear scored account. I mean gear scored unit on my account. I think like 440 gear score or something. Yeah, so yeah, full DPS build with some tankiness, so she can survive hits. Mine's not triple S imprint. With triple S imprint, I think her attack goes up to maybe 3.7k or 3.6k, somewhere around there. But yeah, still very powerful unit overall, especially when Valiant's pre-banned. That's my f.tenebria. Next we got Caval. So here's my Caval. So the thing with my Caval is, I'm gonna change up his build. He's missing a bit of damage. That's why I'm going up damage artifact. I actually have him on Guiding Light. I should put him back on Guiding Light. But yeah, I usually have Guiding Light on. But usually with this build, he'll miss the kill by like the enemy will lift by like slither of health. So I'm gonna change up his build. But this build works fine. Amazing unit. Yeah, just go attack, crit chance, crit damage, and have like at least 145 speed, somewhere around there, maybe 150 speed. So I'll show you guys the build I'm currently working on. His key is on my RB right now. Let me show you guys. Attack. Yeah, ideally you want crit damage set, but attack set's fine. Yeah, you can get away with attack and crit damage set because he doesn't really need much speed. Yeah, this necklace, yep, armor necklace, crit chance, yep. Yeah, this is the build. So I'm working on something like this. 5.7k attack with 298 crit damage, 147 speed. So this right side build is way better, right? Like way better, so much more damage. And 147 speed is fine, I'm pretty sure, to cut with. So yeah, I need to find a gear to fix that crit chance and to 100, and it's basically done. Maybe get the crit damage up to 300 so it looks cool. So yeah, definitely gonna change up my Caval. I'm almost done with a new build on him. hit extremely hard. So next we got Ed. So I really like Ed. I went pretty ham on this banner. I got max out artifact, double S imprint. He's not overpowered by any means. He's pretty balanced, but he's super good into debuff teams or like debuff cleave, like Rand, Pierre, Caesarea, stuff like that. Eda, you know, so very good unit. Have him Draco Plate. I think this artifact's better than his own signature artifact on him, at least I feel. So yeah, yeah, mine's on a tankier build because I had to draft him versus cleave. 1.4k, almost 1.5k defense with 20k HP. Because mine's not that well geared, but he works. He does his job perfectly fine. I like lifesteal Ed. I think if you can make a lifesteal Ed, it's definitely better than a speed one. So next we got Rim. So Rimru's still a great unit. I think he will be more prevalent in the meta once Huayang is gone. Because right now Huayang plus APOC both are putting Rimru in check, right? It's hard to draft Rimru into APOC and Huayang, you know. So I run a damage build on mine, you know, with Symbol of Unity plus 3.3k attack and 258 crit damage on the pen set. He's got hit really hard, and he has some tank stats. So yeah, Rimru still a good unit. But since mine's on a full damage build, I draft him in cleave. I don't go standard with him. Next we got ADS. So ADS, here's my ADS. This unit is super strong in standard, very obnoxious to deal with, counters so many units, you know. So ADS, you want Fairy Tales artifact on her, but I don't have it, so this is second best option, I think. So mine's more focused on damage because I don't have Fairy Tales artifact. But once I have Fairy Tales artifact, you know, I can lower the crit damage and make her a bit tankier. But she's still tanky. A lot of times she gets ignored because she can counter attack, and you know her counter attack S1 into S2 is so how do you call it? It's really oppressive. So a lot of times she gets ignored. It's my build, very powerful unit if you like playing standard. Next we got Lionheart Thermia. So Lionheart Thermia, I started picking her much more later in the season. But the thing is, she needs lifesteal, so you need to have some form of lifesteal. I have her on Sigurd side, but ideally you want lifesteal set on her. So just build her tanky, 2k defense, 15k HP. Mine's on speed set, so she's extremely fast for Lionheart Thermia. You only need like 180, 190 speed on her. With good damage, you know. Some ER if you can slot some ER in. That's pretty much it. This unit's really good into units that counter attack, but not all of them. Like you want to pick her mainly into like a Conqueror Lilius, extra attack, or a Politis. Those two are the main units that makes me think about going Lionheart Thermia, you know. But you don't want to, or like a Lencia, but you don't want to pick her into someone like a Shu. A Shu can literally take out your Lionheart Thermia with S1, S2, you know. So you don't want to pick her into some counter, or like a Violet, for example. Violet easily takes out Lionheart Thermia, you know. So yeah, gotta be careful drafting her. Next we got Senya. So Senya is a great unit, but I'm not going to talk much about her because I don't really use her. Yeah, I need to farm better gear for her. Mine's too fast. I need to lower her speed and get that speed into tank stats and effectiveness. You want like 80 plus effectiveness on her so you can provoke the ends and stuff, you know. 1 second, let me pull my charger. Yeah, so you can provoke the ends and stuff. Yeah, that's pretty much it for Senya. Yeah. Mine's have any imprints, but definitely a very good unit if you're playing standard. Yeah, her signature artifacts, best in slot. I don't think you want to play this unit if you don't have her own artifact, so yeah, take note of that, I guess. Next we got Rowlet. Here's Rowlet. So this unit I'm so excited about because he's getting buffed. He's getting buffed, he's gonna be much stronger. I feel like he may be oppressive post buff, but he's you gotta pick him later in the draft because he's got so many counters, you know. But yeah, having extra turn on S1 soul burn, that sounds pretty strong. And also he can proc his S3 extra with a S1 now. You don't need to get hit now to proc it. You know, when Rowlet came out, AoE was the meta, so it was easier to proc S3s. But now it's not as easy. But having that change, will make it much easier to proc the extra S3s throughout the match. You know, also lower cooldown S3, I believe, post buff. But yeah, mine I just go Lifesteal Pen. Didn't go speed build, but I just like Lifesteal. It's like a hard carry build. Mine's not on the best gear. I think I have a super good Lifesteal necklace, which I may put back on Rowlet. It's on my Valet right now. This one, look at that, 18 crit, 17 speed, attack, defense, so good. So the right side build, I may do the right side build post buff, you know, make him faster. Let's see how it goes. That's basically Rowlet. So I have him on Shepherds. You can go the double edge Decrescent artifact on him to Urvalin's artifact. It's pretty good. The artifacts go on Kayron too. Talk about Kayron later. Pretty much it for Rowlet. Next we have Violet. So here's my Violet. So my Violet's on a pretty standard build. I say this unit is pretty good. There'll be games where I go double Violet into like a Shu or something, you know, or Lionheart. No, not Lionheart. Like maybe a Lencia, you know. So yeah, these two units I feel like are still pretty strong. Mine's pretty well kit. Has like my best weapon on my account on him. So yeah, Lifesteal Pen. Yeah, I feel like Pen sets are better than Immunity set. Immunity set's only better if you're going up against Cleave, and Violet's good anti-cleave, you know. But yeah, otherwise I feel like Pen set is just better. That's pretty much it for Violet, and also Moonlight Dreamblade, obviously best artifact. Next we have OP Sig. So here's my op Sig. Yeah, I gave her enough damage to one-shot Huayang's without attack buff, and also mine's fast enough to contest Mediator Carex. And ideally you want her beyond Guiding Light, but I don't have enough Guiding Lights to go around, so she can have Portrait for now. Pretty much it about Opsig. Opsig's also, yeah, very good into FCC teams, so still a great unit. Here's my Straws. So Straws, yeah, my Straws is slower than not most Straws, but that's because I had to draft him with a pusher like DJB, so I don't really care about speed on him. Lots of damage, some tankiness on immunity. He can survive a hit or two. I used to run at 15k HP Straws earlier in the season, so when my opponent goes acid, they cannot one-shot him. But yeah, I may look around and changing my Straws build, but I did use him a lot, and this artifact's so good. I think this blessing on him. There'll be games where you need the CR push after killing a unit or your Straws won't cut, yeah, so yeah, yeah, that's pretty much it for Straws. His buff, really nice on him. Opponents can't counter attack when he uses S3. Great when you're going Cleave or Aggro. Okay, so it's pretty much it for Straws. Next we got Edda. So here's my Edda. So Edda is on a damage build, 250 speed, so she gets enough CR push when you're, let's say, when you're racing and you need your Edda to cut. She's a bridge, yeah, so ideally I want more damage. My Edda's it's got some tank stats, look at that, 1k defense, 10k HP, but that's because her gear's rolled, you know, some HP and defense. It's not like I want her to be tanky, it's just how the gears I gave her rolled, you know, so yeah, that's pretty much it for Edda. Still a great unit, just it's not easy to pick her early because Bellion's a thing, you know, because she needs book to Soulburn, yeah. Next we got Caesarea. So this unit folded off pretty heavily due to Edward. So in last season I used her a lot, you know, she helped me get legend. However, this season I used her much less because last season I would pre-ban Dilibet and I'd go to town with Caesarea, but now you can't do that. You pre-ban Dilibet, Edward's still up, great answer to her. So you got pre-ban both, but I don't think that's worth it. So I only pick, I still pick her time to time, but I would pick her later in the draft. Like I would go like Rand, Caesarea, 4th and 5th pick, you know, something like that. But you just want high attack, high speed, 260 plus speed, some tankiness and effectiveness. But the thing with Caesarea is you need to have a maxed out artifact for it to be consistent. And you know, yeah, I don't think it's worth it now. But this artifact will be good on on Flan, MO Flan, right? She's getting buffed, but yeah, that unit I feel like control is just nothing. Let's see how it goes post buff. But I'm not sold on her buffs right now. I'm more excited about TM Luluka and her Violet, you know. Yeah, Violet's buff. Alright, next we got also Sahak's buff. Alright, next we got Carrot. Quickly touch upon Carrot. So Carrot didn't use so much. You want Book, I think, but Eddie is fine. Yeah, some tank stats, some attack, crit damage. Mine's squishy, but yeah, she's very good into Senya. I guess if you play standard, opponent picks Senya, Lencia, this unit's a very good answer. Also pretty good with this S10E too, if opponent doesn't have cleanses. Yeah, it's pretty much it for Carrot. Next we got Carrot. Okay, this is an exciting build. So here's my Carrot. Some of you guys may look at this and be like, why is he so slow? Well, that's because I dropped him only exclusively with DJ Bazaar. So, and I dropped him into Destina. So if opponent goes Destina, I drop this unit if Bellion's pre-banned, and then I Soul Burn S2 Destina, lock it down. There are also games where I ran Soul Burn S3, AoE defense break, and my Carrot S3s and just cleave everybody, you know, with this much damage. So this unit, still very good. Yeah, it's pretty much it for Carrot. I didn't really drafted him much though. Next we got Sahak. So this unit's getting buffed. So after his buff, I think his build will change. He'll be much stronger. But right now, I exclusively draft him into Violet, and usually he gets banned. So yeah, just some tank stats, damage, and speed. That's all you need on your Sahak. Next we have Landy. So Landy, I usually only pick her when I have FCC because without FCC's barrier, it's too easy to remove Landy out of stealth, right? So mine's on a tankier build. Yeah, you don't really need much damage stats on this unit. You know, if she gets off her S3 defense pen, it's gonna do a ton of damage. So you want to focus on tank stats. So still a great unit. Yeah. Next we got Pirate Captain Flan. So Flan, she's getting buffed. I don't think I used her. Yeah, let's not talk about her. I didn't use her, I don't think. So, yeah, not sure what she's doing in the list. Maybe I just want to show off the fact that I have her built. So, alright, I'll try out when she gets buffed. But right now she's almost unusable. There's just better options. She's usable, just better options most of the time. Next, let's talk about anti-cleave units. First, I'll go over my mobile. So here's my mobile. So mine's on Proof of Valor. You can go other artifacts here. You can go Bastion if you want higher ER, or you can go like Seed. I think Knowledge Seed is pretty fun on MO Bazaar. I mean MO Baal, but yeah, Proof is really good. I like Proof. He can survive a Soulburn Acid. I mean Soulburn Green Sit S1, S3, you know, and stuff like that. If you have FCC up on the board. So the way I pivot versus Cleave, I had to go like FCC Mobile. Works really well. So I think the best mobile build is like a speedier one. So like high speed. If you guys know YDCB, you know, he runs a 290 speed mobile. I think that's the best build, but you don't really need that much speed in a lot of cases. This build works perfectly fine. You don't really need that much ER too. 140 is fine. You're not gonna pick him into something like a Piera anyways, right? She's just gonna debuff you, even if you have 200 ER. So mine 140 ER is fine. Just focus on tank stats. So it's pretty much it for mobile. Next we got BBK. So here's my BBK. So my BBK, I run her with 296. So basically 300 ER. So 226 ER, she gets 70 ER from Bastion. She'll be at 300 ER, and with these damage stats, she will cleave a cleave team. You know, she'll cleave a bunch of imprints and, you know, Cavill and stuff like that. Fire Carrick, you know, they're all gonna die to her. You know, especially when she's at 1 health. And also, she does have some HP, so she can, like, if like let's say let's say she cleaves 3 units and she's up against like a Conqueror Lilius 1v1. There's no way a Conqueror Lilius can kill her. You know, she has one life steal back to 10.9k HP. Lilius is not gonna kill it, right? She's just gonna keep life stealing. So yeah, pretty happy with this build. Next we have Emo Celine. I'm excited to show this one. So this build I incorporated later into the season. This build is really good build, anti-cleave build. Good into Bazaar and other CR pushers. She's gonna cut an S3 and then give all your teammates immortality buff, and then the cleave team is pretty much dead. You know, they can't do anything, they can't kill you, and you just kill them. So yeah, I really like this build. I'll definitely be pulling on the next Celine banner. I want to max out artifact. This artifact scales with copies because it goes from 18 CR push to 26% if I remember correctly. So I definitely want higher levels of this artifact, and I also want max imprint to get to 100 crit, and I'll be happy with my Celine. Maybe work towards 290 speed, you know. But yeah, this unit very good anti-cleave. Next we got Dilibet. So this Dilibet functions kind of like Ed. Sometimes Ed's better, sometimes Dilibet's better. You just want defense, HP, crit damage, crit chance, speed on her. Ideally 2k defense, like 15k HP. Mine's on the squishier side, but that's because she's got 290 crit damage. It's my hits hard. And ideally you want her faster. Like I saw KJ runs a 250 Dilibet, you know. But I think that can cut Edda. But yeah, mine's a 210 speed. Works fine. Great unit, anti-cleave. Next we got FCC. So here's my FCC. I run a tanky FCC, proud of her. 31k HP, 1.8k plus defense. So mine's basically anti-cleave FCC, you know. Yeah, I can go a bit more HP on her. I have a 46% health weapon on my Crow, so I would give her, she'll be basically at 32k HP. But I want that weapon on Crow. I'm actually debating to give it to FCC. I don't draft Crow much nowadays, but yeah, there's a tanky FCC, great versus cleave. Next we got RB. So my RB's on an anti-cleave build. I only draft RB versus cleave. So my build's like almost full damage, yeah, 5.5k attack, 292 crit damage. So basically the idea is to one-shot a cleave team without needing gab. So, and it works. I've been testing it. It works out fine. I went up against some cleavers and I just one-shot them with my S3 when he revives. So yeah, this build's fine. Next we have T Surin. So T Surin's anti-cleave that is very specific. Usually she works into teams with single target damage dealers. Like let's say a team with a bunch of Sid, Watchishuri, Wondrous Silk, stuff like that, you know. T Surin can work. So I have my own lifesteal set. Ideally you want her to be on speed set with the artifact, with the Celine artifact, but my Celine artifact's on MO Celine, so I just go traditional T Surin arena defense build, you know. Works fine. Just not as good of an anti-cleave option as other units. Next we got Rem. So the thing with Rem is she's really good when the opponent picks a bunch of fire cleavers, and there's a lot of them. You know, we got Fire Carrick, Elfil, Melissa, you know, units that can strip with a soul burn, you know, ignore ER with soul burn. So, you know, when my opponent picks a bunch of those units into my BBK, I just lock in Rem. If they don't ban Rem, she usually handles them, goes to town on them. So yeah, still a good anti-cleave unit. Mine's not very well geared, but that's because I gave her gears to my Archdemon Shadow, and my plus 30 Sigurd is on my Lionheart Thermia, but I'll give her back the plus 30 Sigurd once I put Lionheart Thermia on a lifesteal set. So that's pretty much it for my Rem. Next we have Acid. So here's my Acid. So ideally you want your Acid to be as fast as possible, so we're talking 310 plus speed, but mine's at 300 speed. I usually pick him with imprints, so this is fine when I'm trying to contest, you know, so he works out fine. The thing is, I want his gear to be on my green set, so I run a slower green set. I'll show you guys later, but this unit actually, I drafted him in my last game for Legend versus a cleaver. I raced him and he worked out. He got banned, so yeah, so for that fact alone, I'm not gonna strip my Acid. Still a good unit. Next we have Kayron. Here's my Kayron. So ideally, this is not the build. You want to go counter with as much damage as possible, no speed, and ER. That's it. That's all you do with Kayron. You give him double edge 60%, that's the build. Anti-cleave build. This build can work, but that build is way better. Okay, next we got Politesse. So this unit, mine's not well built. You either want to go high ER, high HP defense with Crown for anti-cleave, or if you're cleaver, you go Book with high damage stats, right? But I pre-ban Politesse, so that's pretty much it. Yeah, I don't use her. So next we got Infernal Kawasu. Here's my Infernal Kawasu. So here's my build. So he's an anti-cleave unit. You can pick him into AoE damaging openers like Pierre Ran, etc. And he'll cut, especially with the side fact, he can cut pretty well. But a lot of times there's just better options like why would you pick this guy over an Ed or over a Dilibet, for example? There's some situations that he's better in though. But yeah, pretty good. Still a great anti-cleave option. Right, next we have Bellion. So Bellion, mine's on an injury set. You want to have her on a counter set if you're using her primarily for anti-cleave, but in a standard matchup where it's just a bunch of bruisers with high HP, injury is obviously better. And you can go with the Mature Sunglasses artifact. I think some people run down Bellion, but personally I like this artifact more. I think that artifact's better if you run a counter set build, I guess, but I like the Elbrus Bellion, so that's pretty much it for Bellion. Next I have Ticracet. So Ticracet's an anti-cleave knight who I only pick if FCC's pre-banned. If FCC's up, I think she's better a lot of times, but Ticracet can be better though, because he actually does stuff when he gets hit. He CR pushes himself and he can counter and stun the opponent, right? And you can cleanse the unit and give them crit resistance and defense buff, right? So yeah, great unit. Mine's on Holy Sack, so if he dies, he comes back and potentially gets a turn, you know. Just go tank stats with 220 speed and 100 plus ER and he'll work fine. Okay, so next I actually forgot to show 2 damage dealers. First here's my Charlotte. I think I picked her a couple times into Landy. She may become more popular once Huoyang gets banned, but let's see. I think this artifact's pretty good on her. That's pretty much it for Charlotte. Didn't really use so much. Mine's not very well geared. It's got SSB. So SSB, didn't pick her much. That was a game where my opponent picks a solo K-Ron DPS, and I wished I had SSB geared for RTA because I had her on a Wyvern DPS gear. But yeah, here's my SSB Lifesteal set. Ideally you want no speed with more damage and tank stats, but I think this will work fine, you know, and just go a signature artifact. But yeah, she's not great in RTA now, not meta by any means, more of a counter pick unit. So now I'll go over my Soul Weavers. So I'm just gonna go over units that I haven't showed yet. So I'm not gonna show like my DJ Bazaar, right? Like I already covered him. So here's my Ruel. This unit I pick when the opponent goes a bunch of single target damage dealers. Like let's say the opponent picks APOC plus Rimuru and I have a Huoyang on my team. I just go Ruel. And you know, if both Ruel and Huoyang get through the draft, I win because they're not gonna out tempo a Huoyang, right? If they blow everything on Huoyang, I just revive her with Ruel. So yeah, great unit with a single target damage dealers. I make her tanky, 2k defense, 20k HP with 200 plus speed, 150 ER. So cookie cutter Soul Weaver stats. So next we have, oh yeah, artifact. This artifact's really gone here, but honestly you can go for any, you can go for Idol's Share, you can go for even Water's Origin, you know, but I like this artifact on her. Because it heals the whole team when she gets hit, you know. It heals a good amount, 8.5%. Yeah, so next we have Roanna. So this Soul Weaver, so this kind of like Lionheart's Pyramid. Sometimes I pick both into a team of counter attackers, you know. Maybe Green Armin, Archdemon Shadow. Stellar Harper is really good versus Archdemon Shadow because you potentially cleanse the seal debuff off of yourself or your teammates. So yeah. I think you need this artifact on this unit. I think it's the best in Star. I'm not sure if that's a better one. I think this one's the way to go. Yeah, that's pretty much it for Roanna. You just go tank stats on her. I have a bunch of free gear on her. You know, it doesn't really matter. Just make her tanky as possible. With some ER, of course. I guess speed. Yeah, pretty much it. Next we have knights. So for knights, I'm not going to cover knights that I already covered. So we have Crow. So when it comes to Crow, this unit, I feel like Yuha is just a better Crow nowadays, right? So I may build Yuha, but Crow still works fine. He's good into units like Lionheart, Sermir, Riolet, units that he can snipe and they can't really take him out before he can snipe them. Alright, that's pretty much it for Crow. Just go for, HP, defense, speed, ER. So he used to be better than this, but I nerfed him. And when it comes to 8 Tywins next, this unit's good as a pivot versus immobile. Let's say you're trying to aggro cleave, opponent goes immobile, think about 8 Tywin, could be a good pick. And I have tried it, it works perfectly fine. AoE immobile S2's 8 Tywin just cleanses the sleep, right? So yeah, and you want to go effectiveness build on this guy. I know when 8 Tywin was meta during the Golden Boys era, people were going Bruiser build, but nowadays you want F because you wanna provoke the immobile if you pivot into him, so you want effectiveness on this guy. So just go tank stats with speed and F, and it's pretty much it for 8 Tywin. Usable just like a counter pick niche unit nowadays, because control isn't the thing anymore. Next we have Crimson Armin. So Crimson Armin, so the thing is, Crimson Armin I haven't personally used much, but I know she's pretty good. Let's say the opponent first picks DJ Bazaar, and you want to go standard, you can go Crimson Armin, plus like a Maid Chloe or Destina, right? Because you can't pick FCC into a DJ Bazaar, so you could do that. You just go tank stats on her, you don't really need speed, you want her to go last, you want your teammates to go first. So even like 180 speed build works. And 100 ER is fine with Aureus, yeah. Provides a lot of mitigation to the team. Alright, next we got imprints. So first imprint, here's my green set. So you guys can be surprised by my build. Why is he so slow? Well, I go damage set. First of all, I think a speed build's the best. 300 speed build is the best, right? But I have to strip like my A set gear if I wanna build my green set that way, and I don't want to do that like my A set. So, and this build works perfectly fine. I had to pick him with CR pushes like DJ Bazaar, So with a damage build, the opponent doesn't expect it, so he can like one shot a Conqueror Lilius or like Huayang, or like let's say you're going up against a Conqueror Lilius plus Huayang. You can soul burn S3 into the Huayang, take her out, and S1 potentially take out the C Lilius right away because of the damage boost you get from Wind Rider. With this build, you can't do that with a speed build. It's not enough damage, right? I have speed and pen set with high damage. Some people run like 290 speed with pen set on full damage. That is pretty good too. Yeah, that's pretty much it about when it comes to set. This build works fine for me. But I think like 300 speed build is the best build. Yeah, 300 plus speed. Next we have Watcher Shuri. He's a ranger. Here's my Watcher Shuri. So he's on Sarge. I really like the side effect. I have the side effect on like all my ranger imprints because I need CR push. When I draft Watcher Shuri, a lot of times I need a CR push from the artifact. Either you just go full damage on him with over 200 speed. Mine's a bit too fast. Ideally I want to lower his speed for more damage, but this build works fine. Usually when you're racing with Watcher Shuri, if you take first turn, you win anyways. Yeah, so next we have Wondrous Silk. Here's my Wondrous Silk, also on Sarge. You can go Guiding Light, but some games Sarge is better because you need a CR push. Let's say you drafted Acid plus Wondrous Silk, you take first turn and you snipe like and you push back a Conqueror Lilius. And let's say you snipe a green set, but the opponent still has Conqueror Lilius up and she outsped your Wondrous Silk. You need your Wondrous Silk to cut. So having Sarge, if you take out the green set with your A set, Sarge will push up your Wondrous Silk to push back the Conqueror Lilius and you win. So yeah, Sarge really good. Mine's on a basically 290 speed build, 289 speed. Ideally you want 300 plus speed, but I don't have a fast effectiveness ring. This is my fastest effectiveness ring, only 17 speed, and you really want effectiveness on this unit, so yeah, this build works fine. I just wish she's faster. I'm trying to get faster gear from her, but you can't build, like I have way too many units that want speed, right? So yeah, work in progress, I guess. Yeah, ideally 300 speed. And also you want to go tanky on her. She doesn't need damage. Shuri. Oh yeah, and one more thing about my So she's on crit main neck, so she can work with my Caval. You see that 98 crit, ideally 100 crit, but yeah, she's a Caval initiator too. So yeah, my team's my cleave is basically built around Caval nowadays. Very powerful unit. Next we have Shuri. So here's my Fire Shuri. So it's also on Sarge, and on a damage build, it's pretty much it. Just go damage on this guy. Yeah. Imprint. He does good damage though. He's worth building. Let's say you're going up against like a Vildred green set, you know, and you take a turn, you S3, you're gonna do a lot of damage to them. Maybe not one shot them, but take a big chunk out of their HP bar, you know. Right, next we got Siren. Here's my Siren. So basically just go I don't know, go random gear on her. You don't need gear on her. Yeah, if you outspeed you win. You dropped her. Yeah, she's like a late option in terms of a speed imprint. If you have Marissa, here's my last speed imprint. Marissa's worth building, I think, going full damage. I'll build her later, but yeah. You want Marissa in your arsenal of imprints. Yeah, definitely build her later. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I think I covered every single unit. No, I forgot to cover Solitaria. Right, Solitaria. So here's my Solitaria. So here's my Solitaire. So Solitaire, you want Crown on her. I think it's best eyesight. You can go Book, but Crown's pretty good too. Go as much speed as possible, obviously. 279 speed's fine. And you either go full damage or tank stats with ER. So mine's on a weird, some tank, some ER build. You don't really need that much effectiveness on her, but yeah, pretty good unit. Counters ADS, counters Rowlet, etc. Counters Green Violet. Very good in standard because she gives herself stealth, so you know units like APOC and Huayang cannot deal with her a lot of time. So yeah, great unit. Okay, so I think I covered everything now. Let me double check. Yeah, alright. I forgot to talk about Closer Shouts. So Closer Shouts is a unit I was using midway through the season. I got him from the coin shop, so I'll show you guys the build. I stripped him already, but I was running this build. I believe I had acid gear on him, so my acid was ungeared for some time because I had gears on my Closer Shouts. Necklace, yep. Ring. I believe it's acid boots, yep. No, he was faster than this. I was running a 310 speed Ran back then, so he was on Ran's helm. Yeah, I was running a speed hit set on Ran, not this. So yeah, this was the build. You only need 85 crit because he gives himself 15% crit with his buff. I think it's called Perception buff or whatever. And yeah, some tank stats, some good damage, 286 speed. So problem with this build is that 286 speed, when you go up the ladder, it's just not enough. It's not fast enough. You need 300 speed units, you know. Even 290 feels kind of slow a lot of times, so it's just hard to use him. But if you can build 300 Closer Shouts, like Phantom, then yeah, that's definitely amazing, you know. So a good unit, just needs really good speed gear, I feel, to make use of him a lot of times. But so I'll definitely build him up in the future. Yeah, this artifact's the best start on him. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Showcase every unit. So, oh no, one more left. Just realized. I'm pretty sure I haven't showed my Emo Haste yet, right? So Emo Haste, yeah, this unit on paper is really good into Destina and what's her name, Maid Chloe, but it's only good if they don't have like a mitigator, like a Crimson Armin. And people draft Destina and Maid Chloe, they're gonna draft Knights, right? So yeah, he's mainly good into like Arbiter Vildred, but a lot of times I don't think he's that good anymore in the current meta. The meta too fast for him. He's way too slow to do his job, you know. He doesn't get enough turns in. Doing S3, grounding barriers, too many strips nowadays, yeah. And also DJ Bazaar completely wrecks him, you know, with a S2 when your barrier's up, DJ Bazaar S2 and cleaves your whole team, you know. So yeah, it's hard to use him nowadays. I think he needs a buff or slight changes, but yeah, this build works fine. Just go tanky, 25k HP, yeah. And Idol's Share, obviously, you want this artifact on him. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. I think I went through everything now. Yep. So yeah, that's it for today, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed my roster showcase. So it's over 60 builds, I'm pretty sure. So that's pretty much it. Yeah, I'll still be doing RTA. Try for Legend next season. Try for World Cup again. I actually made it to World Cup this year, but my performance was lackluster, to say the least. Well, I still made it, you know. So yeah, I'm happy with my accomplishments in RTA now. Got my 5 Legend finishes. Season 1, Season 2, Season 3. A year of no Legend finishes into Season 7 Legend finish, and now Season 8 Legend finish. So happy with that. Also made it to World Cup. So overall, I'm happy with my accomplishments in RTA in this game. So you know, next I think I'll try for a top 3 arena frame. I don't have one of these yet. You know, this is one of my favorite frames. It looks so cool. It looks like a fiery mirror. You know, and obviously, where is it? I really like another one too. The top 3 arena frame, the rainbow one. Can't find it. This one. Yeah, so I may try for a top 3 arena frame. Let's see how difficult that is. But yeah, that's pretty much it for today, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, please give the video a like and subscribe to the channel. And until next time, Zodi signing out.